Good morning, Periscope, and happy Thursday. This is Tammy Pope coming back to you finally on a more consistent basis. Let me start my Facebook Live feed here. So let me say good morning again to those of you who are listening to me on Facebook Live and on Periscope. I have about 4 minutes before my radio show starts, so I'm going to give you a brief introduction as to who I am. My name is Tammy Polk, the face behind Tammy Terrell Mompreneur Coaching. I'm a virtuous businesswoman, motivational makeover mentor, which means that I help women and men to unleash the remarkable business owner within while becoming an owner of lasting influence. If you're tuning in today, I am very excited. I was recently gifted a radio spot on Blog Talk Radio. So today you will be listening to me introduce myself and my goals and my mission live around the world, wherever you may be. So if you hear me kind of go off focus or go stagnant, it is because I'm trying to respond to as many comments as I can, as well as the radio broadcast itself. So do sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy it. Right now I'm listening to the elevator music in between shows. Which is always fun. So do stick with me for just a moment. And if you are watching a replay of this, I will be on live on Blog Talk Radio the second and fourth Thursdays of the month. You can actually go to Blog Talk Radio and search for the Virtuous Businesswoman Motivational Broadcast. If you can't find me that way, do go to facebook.com/TVBW radio, and you will find the official Facebook page for the show and be able to watch the show there as well for the live broadcast that I actually do. We've got about 2 minutes, so let me kind of sign off here and get ready to talk when I need to. Hey, whoever came in on Facebook, let me know who you are. Say good morning and all that other good stuff. Those of you on Facebook Live, thank you so much for joining me. Periscope, sorry. Thank you so much for joining me. Still got about a minute and a half of the hold music for the radio station. So we're going to get started here soon. So if you need to go get a snack or anything like that, kick all the kids out of the room, or if you're listening at work and you need to shoo everybody out of your office, go right ahead. We're about to start in about a little less than a minute here. They're still playing the whole music on my side. I guess the media manager is still trying to get set up. I'm not getting any communication that anything is wrong. So I do apologize for the extended wait. Sorry about this, guys. I'm letting them know that I'm still hearing the hold music and trying to figure out what's going on. Okay, they're letting me know that nothing is wrong. Okay. Wow, so they're not actually going to push the button on my side until 10 o'clock. So until then, what I can say, okay, they're saying that I'm all set. And what I can say is, first of all, I do want to thank you, like I said, for sticking with me. I know I've been on here for a little while, so if you're watching the replay, you can actually fast forward through this part and get straight to the show. Like I said, today is a very, very special day for me. For those of you who know me and know me well, you know that it May 11th. First of all, I graduated from college on this day 15 years ago. And not only that, today is my mom's birthday, and I wish that she were here with me to be able to celebrate this occasion with me. So today is a very special day, and I do want to start out, and I'm probably going to say this again on the radio broadcast, reminding you that no matter who you are and no matter what you do, whether you have a business or not, every person on this planet is a business owner. You are your first and primary business. So take care of what you are showing to the world. You're a billboard. What are you advertising? What are you letting people know about yourself? Are you carrying yourself in a way that would make people want to communicate with you, make people want to talk to you? Or do you have a body language that is very standoffish or very unapproachable? You know, how do you let your light shine? So if you could not speak, what would people think of you? If you didn't talk about your business or anything that you do, what would people think of you? So I want you to think about that, because it's kind of going to be the topic of my radio station debut today, among a few other things. So you're going to hear a little bit of repetition. And next time when I come on live on May 25th, I will not come on this early, so that we can cut down on the time. So again, I do apologize to both my Facebook Live and my Periscope followers who've been here with me the entire time. I did not know that there was going to be this much of a delay, and I didn't want to take the chance of logging out and logging back in. So I am supposed to start at 10. It's 9:59, so I am going to sit tight for just a second. Sponsors, commercials, guys. Just a minute. Good morning and happy Thursday. It is Thursday, May 11th, 2017. My name is Tammy Polk, and you are here for the brand new radio show debut of the Virtuous Businesswoman Motivational Broadcast. And I know some of you probably saw my promo and like, what in the world is this all about? So I'm actually going to take the first episode of my show today to tell you a little bit about myself and what that means. Again, my name is Tammy Polk. I am coming to you live from Memphis, Tennessee in the USA. I'm also running live right now on Facebook and Periscope as well, so you can find me there. I'm really excited to be here with you to share a little bit of my vision. Just to tell you a little bit about me, most people who know me personally will tell you that I am nuts because I do a lot. I'm a married mom of 3 girls. We are homeschool parents. Our girls are 13, 9, and 4. I am a homeschool consultant, private tutor, independent contract substitute teacher, author, blogger, copy editor, whole lot of stuff. But my baby, my pride and joy is my coaching business, Tammy Terrell Mompreneur Coaching, where my goal is to unleash the remarkable business owner within to help them to become a woman of lasting influence. And I was inspired recently to have a shift in my business. After I wrote the book, The Virtuous Businesswoman, inspired by Proverbs 31, back in September of 2015, I started to understand that that was really what my mission was. Because most of the time, when people think of Proverbs 31 and marriage and family, they like to keep her in that box. They like to keep her there. They really haven't thought about the aspect of the virtuous woman of Proverbs actually being a business woman. She was about business. And so I was sitting there one day reading through the passage, and I says, I want to find something that addresses Proverbs 31 from a business standpoint. And I searched and I searched and I searched, and people recommended different Proverbs 31 ministries. Nobody had what I was looking for, and I was feeling very, very frustrated. So the Spirit said to me, you know what? It seems like you can't find it. So you write it. And I got all kinds of feedback of people telling me, my favorite one actually was for those who are single, who would tell me that they felt like they couldn't do that because she was married and they weren't. It doesn't matter. Consider the part about marriage and family as preventative maintenance, something that you should prepare for. So in that, I started to spread the message of what a virtuous businesswoman is. And that is really multifaceted, because a virtuous businesswoman is one who has chosen to rise above her frustration, reclaim her life and her talents, and to evolve into a woman who is free to transform those talents into a treasure, which is a God-honoring business for herself while maintaining a strong family base and not losing her sanity. And I know that that's a lot in a little bit, but let me break that down for you. A virtuous businesswoman wants to rise above her frustrations. There is not a businesswoman or a woman in general that is not frustrated about something today. Whether they're frustrated about not having enough money, not having enough time, family issues, having a job that they hate, having talents that are laying to the side, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. Being a one-trick pony, so to speak, not knowing exactly what else they can do, and then dealing with complacency. Some think that they are actually okay with the way that their life is going, and to them, I always say, why are you settling for good when greatness is staring you in the face? They get mad at me for saying that, but however, It's true. So, in rising above her frustrations, first of all, she sees the fact that being frustrated and staying frustrated is not going to get her anywhere. And that if she is truly frustrated about her situation, she is going to do something about it, which brings me to the reclaim part. What is she reclaiming? She is reclaiming her life and her talents. Because when it comes to talents, you're either managing them or you are wasting them. There is a difference. And many of us as women and men go through this too. We spend 99.995% of our lives using our talents to benefit the cause of other people. We use our talents to make other people look good with little to no recognition for what we do. We are working for companies where we create things, and what we create becomes the property of the company. We can't recreate it. We can't say that we were the ones that came up with it. If we leave the company, we can't take it with us. And it breeds contempt in our hearts and in our spirits because we worked hard on whatever that project may be, and that was our baby, that was our bread and butter. Yes, you might have given her a bonus, you might have given her, a certificate, she might have gotten a day off, she might have gotten a promotion for it. Your company could have made billions of dollars off of what she created, but that is still a talent in a way that you are burying in her, and you'll even discourage her from using it because you want to keep it right there within your niche, within your company. You don't want anybody else to know that she did that, and it is frustrating. And we as people, when we're going through something like that, we will get to the point to where going to work is the most god-awful thing that we can possibly do. We will look at the clock and swear before cheese and crackers that that clock has gone backwards. And the 30-minute to an hour lunch break that we get, I promise you, it will seem like only 5 minutes. But one of the things that we're going to talk about in our time together in other topics is how to change your mindset around your job. But reclaiming your talents doesn't only apply to those that you use for somebody else. I'm also talking about the talents that you're sitting on, that you think are small, meaningless, useless, nothing. You've lost your zeal for it. You've lost your excitement for it. If somebody reminds you that you know how to do it before you can breathe, you're rolling your eyes and telling them that it's not all that. Or you display your talent and that love, that fire, and that effort that you used to have, it's not there anymore. So it's time to get that back. So we've talking about rising above your frustrations, reclaiming your lives and talents, now evolving into the woman who is free to transform those talents into a treasure. I love to use the analogy of a phoenix. A phoenix, when it is buried under ashes, it is preparing. And once it has gone through its preparing stage, it bursts out and it takes off into a new life. It is revitalized. It is repurposed. That's what I'm talking about. A virtuous businesswoman gets to the point to where that love for what she does, that fire for what she does, her fire for God is rekindled, revitalized, renewed. She is ready to go again because she has found that new thing. She has rediscovered that one thing and spent time developing it. And now she's saying, you know what? I can go forward. I can move forward, but what do I need to do? Now, that part I'm not going to give away because we will be covering that in future shows. And you may say to yourself, Tammy, that sounds all well and good. That sounds great. But when do I get to that point? Now. Now is when you do it. If you still have breath in your body, and like the old preachers would say, while the blood is running warm in your veins, you can get it done. Because those visions, dreams, goals, aspirations, ambitions, interests, talents, gifts, purpose, whatever you want to call it, it's in you for a reason, and it is time to start using it. You may not think much of it, but like one of my favorite hymns says, little as much as God is in it. God gave it to you for a reason. It's time for you to use it. Who, what, when, where, why, how, and how much will be revealed to you during the journey. You just have to get out there and say to yourself, I might be in business for myself. I may be in business with somebody else. I may be working while I'm building my entire empire. But one thing that I am going to do is to be virtuous or distinguished. I'll explain that in a minute. In my business and do what is right. Because like I like to ask people all the time, how many crooks in business do you know? So remember, a virtuous businesswoman is one that rises above her frustrations, reclaims her lives and her talents, and evolves into a woman who is truly free to transform those talents into a treasure, a God-honoring business for herself while maintaining a strong family base and preserving her sanity. And you're like, okay, you said book. There's a book about this? Yes, there is. There are going to be two main books that I'm going to be speaking from. Yes, I wrote them both. The first is The Virtuous Businesswoman, inspired by Proverbs 31. It's a book and workbook combo where I actually take the virtuous woman passage, break it down verse by verse, and then talk about how it applies to the modern business world. Just to tell you something funny, I almost left the husband verses out. Because I did not want to alienate anybody that was single. And as I sat there and I wrote, I told God, I said, if you want these husband verses in here, you're going to have to tell me what to say. He says, okay, that's fine. I got you. So they are there. The second is kind of a prequel, if you will. The 7 Virtuous Businesswoman Slayers, the 7 Deadly Cop-Outs. I talk about the 7 excuses that will hinder your journey in becoming a virtuous businesswoman. It's kind of like the Star Wars movies. You know, all the new stuff comes out first and then they go back and tell a backstory. That's the same thing that I did with my books. And I'm looking at my time and it's vastly getting away from me. So let me wrap up. How to find me on Facebook. You can go to the page for this show, The Virtuous Businesswoman Motivational Broadcast, or my coaching page, Tammy Terrell Mompreneur Coaching. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest at the handle Tammy Terrell MC. That's TammieTerrellMC. You can find me on LinkedIn. as Tammy Polk, Polk. And if you're interested in the books, you can find me on Amazon. If you type in Tammy Polk, it's going to show you two people. It's going to show you a Tammy M. Polk and a Tammy T. Polk. I am the T. And for those of you that I know and love, thank you so much for tuning in with me. Those that are watching the Facebook Live right now, those who are watching on Periscope, my family and church family listening at home, I want to thank you. Kayla Paget, you are absolutely awesome, absolutely amazing. I thank you so much for the opportunity. Also to the woman who pushed me to get this done, Nicole Gates, I love you. Thank you so much. To our sponsor, Ewing Moving Company and Storage, thank you for everything you do. And what I want to say in closing is this. Every person walking the face of the earth is a business owner. If you don't believe me, look in the mirror. Why? Because you, my dear, are your first and primary business. So as I said to my Facebook Live and Periscope followers before I started a broadcast, you are a billboard. What are you advertising? What does your body language say? Do you have a teachable demeanor? Do you have an approachable demeanor? Would people walk up to you and ask you for the reason of the expression on your face? Because people see the person that you are. They see your body language, your mannerisms, everything about you long before you open your mouth. And then once you do, what comes out? How do you communicate? How do you talk to people? How do people feel once they walk away from you? Would they come back to you for general conversation, to learn more about your business, to want to collaborate with you, to network with you? What are you putting out when you open your mouth? How do you portray yourself on social media? Yes, I understand we are all grown. However, the way that you present yourself digitally is just as important as how you portray yourself in real life. And it's important that we remember that, because if we don't take care of ourselves and our perceptions of us, other people's perceptions of us are going to be completely thrown off because we haven't taken the time to do what's necessary to unleash that remarkable business on the end to become a woman or man of lasting influence. What do you want your lasting influence to be? Whether you are an employer, an employee, or a combination of the two, you are your first and primary business. How do you handle your own business? How do you handle yourself? Are you taking care of yourself? Have you audited your circle? Do you have the right people around you? Are you educating yourself? Are you watching what you read? Are you watching what you watch? Are you watching who you have around you? If the people around you are allowing you to complain and whine and sulk about what's going on around you, you need new friends. Are you staying in tune with God and what He wants you to do? Because one thing that I talk about in both of my books actually is the concept of stewardship. And one of my favorite quotes that I often say before I start talking is by the comedian Irma Brombeck, and she says, "When I stand before God at the end of my life, and He asks me, 'What did you do with the talents that I gave you?' I want to be able to say, 'I used every bit of talent that you gave me.'" Do you know what your talents are? Are you honing them? Are you managing them, or are you wasting them? Just a little bit of food for thought. Again, my name is Tammy Pope. This has been the Virtuous Businesswoman Motivational Broadcast. Join me again on the fourth Thursday of this month, Thursday, May 25th, 2017, here on Blog Talk Radio, on Periscope, or on Facebook Live. It has been an absolute privilege and a pleasure, and I look forward to helping each and every one of you to unleash that remarkable business owner within and become a man or woman of lasting influence. Because if we live our lives for ourselves and don't take anybody along for the ride with us, what have we really done in our lives? Even if you only help one or the ones that live in your house, and you've done it to the best of your ability, my dear, that is all that you can do. Until next time, God bless, Godspeed, and I look forward to seeing